If you put me up against a bunch of sixth graders, I'm gonna look very big and imposing. Hello and welcome to the Renee Report. On today's episode, we're gonna be talking about the co-main event of this UFC fight card coming up next. Youssef Zalal versus Kattar. Let's get right into it. Youssef Zalal is a massive favorite in this fight, minus 350 in fact. This implies that Youssef Zalal has a 70+% chance to win, and I think that's absolutely ridiculous, and I'm going to break down exactly why. Kattar has fought nothing of the best the last 5 years of his UFC career. Aljamain Sterling, Josh Emmett, Alexander Arnold, Max Holloway. Who else do you want this guy to fight to prove to you he can be in there with anybody? Now, he has lost 3 fights in a row, so I understand the disrespect from a betting standpoint, and I do believe this should be more of a 50-50 fight, but if we're looking at probabilities, if we're trying to get Vegas sleeping, these odds are definitely displaced because Youssef Zalal, on the other hand, has won 3 fights in a row in 2024, and on its surface, that seems like great news. But you always have to look at the level of competition someone is beating and defeating. If you put me up against a bunch of sixth graders, I'm gonna look very big and imposing. But if you put me against the best in the world, I'm gonna struggle. And Youssef Zalal has certainly faced the latter. Jack Shore is a great opponent and a big reason why he landed the Kattar. Jarno Errens, no one knows who that is. Billy Quarantillo, oh, you mean the guy almost out of the UFC? I don't think so. And he got a draw to Damon Blackshear. Are you kidding me? You can't defeat Damon Blackshear, bro? I don't even think he's still in the UFC. There was a fight against Sean Woodson that Youssef Zalal attempted 17 takedowns and only landed 2 of them. We know his intentions. He wants to get you to the ground, he wants to submit you, and he wants to win the fight that way or via decision. Kattar, like a Weili Zhang, is someone we've seen land 400 strikes, take 300 strikes from a Max Holloway and still be standing. I'm sorry, I don't know if Kattar is going to win, but I do know these odds are not just. They have the same height, they have the exact same reach. I haven't seen enough from Youssef Zalal, unless there's some magical transformation I'm missing. The only thing I can think of is that every single UFC fighter has a shelf life, has a period of time where they're in their peak performance. And we can obviously see with Kattar that is most likely past. Like a Tony Ferguson, he's taken too much damage, he's taken too many strikes, and he is more susceptible to damage and being finished. But I don't see Youssef Zalal with a single TKO on his entire UFC evolution. We know he's not going to get knocked out for the most part. He's going to get hit by something bad enough, and he's going to get in a bad position, and Youssef Zalal is going to submit him. That's totally possible, but I don't think the odds make sense for how realistic that is. Kattar has always known he's only a boxer, so he's very aware that every one of his opponents wants to just take him down and hold him. That's what he's going to be working on the entire fight camp, and I have to believe him and his coaches are going to come in prepared, are going to know they have much more experience than Youssef Zalal. They're going to take advantage of that, and they're going to expose his holes in his game. Let me know if you think I'm crazy, if this fight is actually the correct odds, and there's something I'm missing about Youssef Zalal. Let me know if you're riding with Kattar and you think this is a good play and kind of the right analysis. I'm really curious to see how this fight goes. I think it'll be a fun one no matter what. I appreciate you for listening, and I'm out. Peace.